You're on.
Did you do the same thing that I did last week?
Yes. Oh.
No. How am I supposed to react?
Let me show everyone.
We,
Hello, all.
We boiled over the cheese.
Cheese sauce again.
2 weeks in a row. This time, winning.
All me.
Winning.
All me. I will fix that.
That cheese heats up really fast.
Well, last time I checked it, it hadn't even done anything. Nothing. I'm gonna have to move.
Oh, all right. Now that we've killed a minute talking about our cheese mishaps again.
Maybe no one was on yet. I don't know because I'm so behind. I haven't pulled anything up.
We're right on time.
We're always on time.
We're on God's time. Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Amen. Sister.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, apparently we're a little
frazzled.
We're happy to be here. Yeah. We're talking pizza night tonight. So, welcome. I'm Kat Ludwig, dietitian.
I'm Stephanie Pepper, and I am a speech pathologist.
Yes, and we are the Dysphagia Duo Team. So, welcome. This week, every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live, and that's from last week.
Oh, great.
Fresh. We are doing pizza this week. So, who is interested in pizza night?
Because me.
Keep scrolling. There you go.
Why is it like that?
Because it's pinned to the top.
Oh, right.
So that everyone could find last week's. Yeah.
So we'll flip it.
So if you're here with us, please comment, say hello. Hey, Karen, nice to see you too. So happy you're here. If you're watching, please let us know where you're watching from.
Please.
We like to know which part of the world people are in. Yes. It brings us all a little closer together. So last week we did sandwiches.
Okay, I'm going to clean up my mess.
This week we're doing pizza. So as you can see, we have one started here, and we'll make one from scratch as we go. We just wanted to get this part ready. So we have a couple of sides here. So I wanted to go with a cheese that was going to be easier to smooth out. So I chose ricotta. We also have some of our Velveeta, which is what Steph is playing with over there. We boiled it over last week, so if you were watching last week, hi Rebecca from the UK. So happy you're joining us. Thank you. Please ask questions. We want to know what you want to know so we can answer those questions. Pepperoni, cheese. I have some roasted garlic here. We could do basil and do, hi Janet from Nova Scotia. Lovely to see you again. We could do like margarita style. So I just have a can of tomato sauce. It's pasta sauce. It's what I use when I make pizza at home. Choose your flavor. It's up to you. So I did pre-blend the pepperoni. So I will tell you what I did. I took this pan that's on the stove here, and I heated it up just a little bit. Thank you. And I layered some pepperoni in it. And then I took my spatula and I flipped them all over once they were starting to get soft and warm. And then I put them in the blender. And then I put another layer down until the whole thing was covered. And I added water, probably up to I probably did more than the 2-ounce line, But
did it cover the pepperoni, or
it did cover the pepperoni?
It covered the pepperoni.
Yes. So I blended that, and then I added more pepperoni so that it would get thicker. So I didn't have to add thickener to get it.
Started with it to a little too much water, and then you added more purposefully.
Yep. So I ended up with this pepperoni that is smooth, but it's not liquidy. So it's not quite level 4, but it's not level 2. It's more of a level 3 if we were to do the fork test and the spoon test. You can get it as thin or as thick as you want. Mm-hmm. If you want to add thickener and thicken it up really good so it's a level 4, go right ahead. I did add ricotta to the blender when blending the pepperoni because we were talking.
It made it smoother.
And it blended nicer.
It blended nicer, but you could tell it was getting smoother. I think ricotta or cottage cheese either one would be good.
Yep.
I thought I had cottage cheese, but I don't.
And so cottage cheese is going to have like twice as much protein as ricotta. So that would be the reason to use the cottage cheese. Also, if you want to buy like the good culture, it's similar to yogurt, and then it has those live active cultures in it, or good culture cottage cheese. You could get the protein and the probiotics in it, if that's something that you're interested in. So we're doing a pepperoni pizza today. And we do have some sausage crumbles also, because we're going to do another one that's minced and moist, right? Is that our plan?
Yes.
So I put some ricotta in a Ziploc baggie, nothing fancy. So you want to tell us what you did for the...
Yeah, I thought I'd
bread?
make the next one as we...
Perfect.
Just so that we can have it
I want to make sure everyone can see this.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So we started with our bread product, Cat and I's bread product, at a 1/4 cup. I am going to add a 1/4 cup of water as well.
Oh, that's still warm.
Okay.
It's warmer than my body temperature anyway. Does that count?
Yes.
Okay. As you're joining us, please say hello. Please ask questions. We're so happy you're here. Pizza night. So ricotta in a Ziploc or a plastic reclosable baggie. I don't have it closed. It's fine. Hi, Megan. Nice to see you. So when Stephanie made this beautiful little pizza crust, and I made a little indentation so that the pizza sauce would sort of sit. And then I added just my pizza sauce, and I just sort of patted it to even it out, okay? Play with it a little bit. I know you're not supposed to play with your food, but playing with your food is part of the fun of it, okay?
When you're the chef, you get to play.
That's a true story. All right, I'm going to move this a little closer to me. My piping techniques may not be as good as they once were. This does not have to be pretty either. So I'm just going to go right around the outside, and then we'll fill it in the middle. And depending on how much cheese you have, if you're vegan, you can use vegan cheese for this. That's fine. We're not here to judge you. We want you to enjoy your pizza too. If you're dairy free, use the vegan cheese. It's typically made out of cashew, I believe, right? Daiya, I think, D-A-I-Y-A, is a company that makes a vegan pizza. I don't know what the crust is made out of.
They make vegan cheese too. Like
yes.
You can get different
Yep.
types of cheese, like Swiss cheese or cheddar cheese.
Yep. So now we have our cheese on our pizza. You can spread it out a little bit. Let's see, where's my little spoon and my ricotta? You can do whatever you want here. Spread it out. Totally up to you. Okay, so then I'm going to take some of our pepperoni.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Put it in dots.
That's what I was going to do.
Genius.
Great minds think alike,
Yes,
my friend.
they do.
So this pepperoni, like I said, water, pepperoni, cauliflower crust. Yes, that would work with this as well. If you get your cauliflower, I think there's a way to do it that we could get it pureed. I haven't tried it yet.
You have to be careful with cauliflower crust, though, because sometimes it also has wheat flour in it. It's just less.
Right. Yes, if it's... they're tricky. It shouldn't, but you never know.
Does.
Okay. So we have our pepperoni pizza here. Ooh, okay. I got a little... I don't color inside the lines well. Look at that. Go figure. Story of my life.
It's okay. When you get pizza, it's never perfect.
It's never perfect. I know. I'm still working on overcoming my perfectionism. So I'm a recovering perfectionist. Hi, Pammy from the UK as well. Oh my gosh, 2 from the UK. It's late for you ladies tonight. That's so happy that you're joining us. Oh my goodness.
Thanks for staying up with us.
Yes, thank you. We'll have a late night pizza party for you.
Even
Okay.
better.
Let me get my stuff out of your way, my friend.
So we used a different bread for this one. So this one's a little bit looser, but I'm going to wait and let it sit for a little bit before I...
The longer you let it sit, the firmer it will become. With anything that uses a thickener, and a starch like a bread is a thickener, the more you wait, it will dry out just a little bit just naturally, and as it cools, it thickens also. So, this is fabulous.
It's not bad.
Do you want to try this guy? Or you're good with your
Well,
your
I'm
spatula?
okay, because if I try to change what I'm doing, I
Okay.
might mess it up.
Deal. Okay.
I actually am going to use it to clean my spatula.
That's what I use it for too. Awesome.
Okay. So do we want this one to be minced and moist?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
How about from our watchers? Are you guys okay with us making a minced and moist one?
So because bread is often one of the most difficult things, I still recommend that if you're having trouble with bread, maybe you're on minced and moist but no bread. I recommend a pureed bread product for the base, for the crust. And then you can add the pieces
as you go.
So this one is much softer.
Yes, it is. And that was a different, so this one was sourdough,
It was.
which has a little bit different texture to it when you blitz it. Which one was this one?
This was wheat.
Wheat. Okay. So when you use toast, you get that, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a bit aphasic at the
Nutty
moment.
flavor?
Yeah,
Are you talking about flavor?
Yeah. The flavor of toast, like that caramelized, nutty
Nuttiness, yeah.
Yeah. So you want that extra toasted flavor, and you can get that if you toast the bread, and then we freeze dried it, and then we blitzed it, so it was a nice powder. Okay, so I'm gonna put my crumbles in here, or your crumbles in here, I guess, and we're gonna blitz those just a bit.
Just to get them.
Okay.
What cheese? Where? Oh, okay.
Do you want me to put that one in a
little out
baggie?
of- What's that?
Do you want me to put that cheese in a baggie? Or you want
I
to
think
just...
it may. I don't know. I need to see how thick it got.
It's pretty thin. And I'll lift it on the paper so everyone can see. It's pretty... Of course, I got a film on the top because of the kind of cheese that it is.
So now, if you can handle cheese, now cheese will a slice of cheese, sliced cheese, or grated cheese.
Some people
may
can
melt in-
handle
yeah,
it.
you may be able to.
Some people can't, but some people can. So this is why I like ricotta, because it's already smooth. It's not going to get that weird stickiness that some cheeses are.
Oh yeah, soft and bite-sized.
Soft and bite-sized. I keep forgetting. Sorry. I had one of those days where people kept asking me if I was okay, and it turns out I just wasn't quite myself, so apparently it's carried on for the rest of the day. Okay, so Asiago, I love it.
So crumbles, it's really small pieces, so it's definitely in the soft and bite-sized arena.
I have it on pulse.
Well, I'm glad you know how to do that.
I learned
When you got it stuck.
when I got it stuck that one time and didn't use it for like a month because I couldn't figure out how to turn it on.
Yeah. So it would go through the tines of a fork.
Okay.
So that would be, this may even be minced and moist because the bread is pureed. Can you guys see this time? I think you can. Tried to angle the camera down a little bit. Looks better. All right.
Yeah, let us know, everybody, what you're seeing.
Yeah,
and
what are you thinking? Give
what
us
are your-
some feedback here,
Yeah.
folks.
Shall I get a little dish or?
Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah.
Very good. So
This is just pork crumbles, sausage.
it is Italian sausage
Okay.
that similar to what you would get on a
Pizza. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna eat a little bit. It's small, requires chewing, as it should with the minced and moist. That looks so beautiful. Okay, so.
Thanks, Janet, for answering.
Yeah, we need to let this one sit just a little bit so it can firm up just slightly. Do we want to try this one? So we made this crust prior to starting because we knew it was going to take a little while to set. Would you like to do the honors of cutting it? I mean, we could use a pizza cutter.
Well, I think I'm going to cut it in a
Triangle. I like it. Yes. So we did a pizza night, gosh, it was months and months ago.
It's a while back.
Where we bought a Little Caesars pizza, which is a low quality for those of you in the UK and Australia. Little Caesars is not good pizza.
$5.
It's $5 for a
Pizza.
Right. So we got one of those, took off the toppings, blended the toppings separately, blended some of the crust because we didn't want the whole crust because that's a lot of
It's a lot of bread.
It's a lot of bread, and as you know, pureeing bread can sometimes be very, very difficult. So we
can see it up close.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely.
It is.
That's fun.
Cut into.
And it took us a
slices.
while to puree the parts separately and then relayer them. You could just puree the whole pizza.
I have a piece of the crust right here. I am the one in the family that likes the crust.
Me too. Okay, let's do it.
Let's try it.
I'm curious as to if I could pick it up. Almost, not quite, but almost.
That's good.
Does it taste like pizza?
The ricotta cheese is delicious.
Yeah?
It tastes very pizza-y.
So we can see all our layers. I like that sourdough too.
Now this one's going to be a little different. It's softer. Let me put that one on a plate also.
I'm going to add a little more pepperoni to my piece because I can. And this is the great thing about you doing your own pizza. You can do it however you want. So Janet, it's not warm. It's room temperature. So this is one of the things that with pizza, it can be really hard to do it piping hot. If we wanted to heat up our pepperoni again, we could.
Our elements, yes.
And it should be fine. The ricotta we can heat up. You just have to remember that it's going to be softer and soupier. I don't know that I like that word, but it's probably accurate of the description. So you may want to do it in a dish that has sides if you're going to heat it up so that you can maintain those layers. Right. If you do it like this and you do it hot, it's going to kind of go everywhere.
It will melt out. But it's definitely doable in a contained dish. And if you do it in a clear dish, you'd be able to see all of your layers. But to be quite honest, I don't like to eat pizza until it's semi-cooled anyway, because I don't like it when I burn the roof of my mouth. Right?
Yeah.
How many of you have burned the roof of your mouth with a piece of pizza that you tried to eat too soon?
So it's not cold, but it's not hot.
Okay. And here is our minced and moist / soft and bite size pizza. Sorry, I missed a few minutes. What's on the minced and moist? So the minced and moist is Asiago cheese shredded and Italian sausage crumbles. But we did take the Italian sausage crumbles and put it in the blender and made them a little bit smaller. We just did not puree them.
So no liquid. I put them in and then I pulsed it. Now it should be back on blend. If I double click, it should go to pulse.
I'll just let you do it.
I might have screwed it up again. It's okay. We'll fix it again later.
That tastes delicious.
Is it just like...
Well, the crust is softer. So depending on what level you're at, the sourdough makes more of a formed crust, but it's thicker. Isn't it good?
But you can still chew this. So you still get the bread. You get the
crumbles.
The cheese. You get the marinara. And honestly, the marinara is my favorite part. So this is accessible to you.
Absolutely. And this is a step up from this. So if I were working with you, we'd start with this and I'd move you up to this and we'd do it together.
And technically,
you could cut that up.
You could mince these with a knife or in your blender or however and do it like this.
In small pieces.
Heat it, chop it into teeny tiny little pieces and put that over instead of whether you like sausage or pepperoni better. You could do either one. This is going to blend better than the sausage will.
Correct.
Just because of how it's made. But you could theoretically blend this.
It could.
Did I blend this 5 or 6 times?
A lot.
It was a lot. So anytime you're blending meat, you need to blend it extra and you need to have a source of fat added to your meat so that it gets smooth. Okay, Janet, if you microwave the minced and moist, would it maintain the level or would it harden too much?
Let's see.
Let's find out. That's a great question, Janet. This is why we do this, right? And this is why we want you to ask questions.
Hold, please.
The microwave dolly is in the sink from our cheese mishap still. And if I didn't do it, but my thought was to put my roasted garlic. So this is just, I chopped off the top of the garlic. I covered it in oil. I put it in a foil thing and I put it in the oven to roast. So it's been cooled, but if I had put this in my ricotta in the blender, I would have had garlic ricotta. Or the other thing you can do is you could put just some olive oil in your blender with the garlic, and then you could brush the crust with that garlic olive oil and give it that garlic flavor. And then you would put that in the fridge and you could use it, I would say, within the next 7 days. And it would be really, really delicious put on just about anything or in anything. You could put it in your meat that you're pureeing. You could put it in your veggies that you're pureeing. You could put it in any starch you have, like rice or trying to think of another starch that we blend.
It completely maintained.
And it's steamy hot. Okay, let's try it again.
It is steaming.
Because the cheese is melted.
It dried out the bread a little bit.
The bread did get dry, so we have to be careful there. So maybe you just don't...
It's still pureed, though.
It's toasty warm. I mean, it smells exactly like you should expect pizza to smell.
It tastes exactly like pizza. It's hot. Did you burn your mouth?
Nope. I just got it on my teeth. Yeah.
So other than it drying out, so you may want to even start with your bread, your crust a little thinner if you want to heat it up like this, because it does thicken your crust a little bit.
So I'm going to show them. So it's mostly like right at the bottom, it gets really tough. I don't want to say hard because I don't think it's hard, but it's a little bit tougher. So
I can take it with my tongue in my mouth and
still mush it. So, and how long was that for?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Lovely.
It tastes like regular pizza.
We have pizza night.
This was better than Little Caesars.
Oh, 100%. Hands down, without a doubt.
Much better. I'm going to try the pureed pepperoni.
I think the sourdough would have gotten a lot more hard than this one, though, just because of the nature of the bread. We would have had to have added more liquid to this dough before microwaving it.
It wouldn't have, yeah.
Janet, it should work with gluten-free. You are going to need to play with it a little bit to get it right. So start at 15 seconds. You may need to add a little bit of extra water. You could get gluten-free bread and you could just dry it out. Whether that's in a dehydrator or in your oven, you just have to keep a really close eye on it in your oven so it doesn't burn, really low temp. Karen, Karen, let's talk level 3.
Yes, let's do it.
But first, let me finish my conversation with Janet. Yes, so you could dry out your gluten-free bread, whether it's in the oven or a dehydrator, or if you leave it on the counter just to dry out, it is going to get a little stale, so expect that flavor if you just leave it out. It's still going to be fine, but you just have to expect that flavor. You're going to rehydrate it with warm water, and you may want to overhydrate it for putting it in the oven, or in the microwave, excuse me. You're going to have to play with it though. So make sure that you have a little bit of time to work through your
I'm going to make a quick level 3.
You're going to make a quick level 3. Okay. Lovely. We have time. It hasn't quite been half an hour.
I'm going to actually do.
I'm a fan of that.
As am I. I'm going to reach across you.
You go right ahead. So let's talk veggie pizza, because I know some of you, hey Heather. Yes, welcome. Stephanie is making a level 3, which I believe also would be appropriate for her once we get there. So you're right on time. Okay. What was I saying? I get distracted really easy right now. Sorry. Take another bite of my pizza.
Okay.
Level
so I
3.
added extra water to my bread, to my pureed bread, so that I could make it a little bit thinner.
Beautiful.
So
it's runny.
It's runny.
And it's going to thicken thank you, Megan. I knew someone would have perfect. Okay, Kara is a level 3 too, so this is perfect. Veggies. Yes, Megan, thank you. Okay, so with veggies, I'm a big fan of onions, peppers, olives. What else on my pizza? Onions, peppers, olives. Those are like my go-to. You could do mushrooms. You could do...
That's my favorite.
Avocado.
That's weird. On pizza?
You never know. On a barbecue chicken pizza, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm weird. I like some weird things.
That's fine.
Yeah, so Kara's in agreement with you about the mushrooms. Okay, so canned olives. You put some in here. You add water. You blend it.
You could even add a little bit of olive oil to your olives.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so I've got a very loose level 3 bread. I'm going to add a layer of my pizza sauce. I want it on the edges.
It works. I like these champagne glasses too, so much for so many things that we do.
The important thing is not to fill it up too much with your first layer. That's my problem.
That's always the hard part. Okay, and you can do, so if you're going to do ricotta for this, you need to thin out the ricotta a little bit. Do you want to do that kind, or do you want to do this kind? Or do you want to do like a smattering of both?
Let's do that one.
Okay.
That one's actually thinner than this one is now.
Okay.
This has become a gloopy gloppy.
This one, I feel like we should probably heat it up.
I'm going to heat it up.
Oh, you are? Okay.
But I'm going to heat it up shorter amount of time so it doesn't.
I'm running out of product.
It's just right.
In my baggie.
Okay, Karen, you're vegan, right? You want a veggie, no meat in yours, right?
So take your, welcome, Mary Catherine. Nice to see you.
We have made some beautiful pizzas tonight, Mary
Okay.
Catherine.
So,
I'm going to warm it.
okay, so onions. With onions, I would not do raw onion. You're going to want to cook them slightly, so I would dice them. Get a pan warmed with a little bit of olive oil or whatever kind of oil you like. I really like avocado oil right now. It's one of my favorites at the moment. You could do coconut oil if you're not opposed to the flavor, but it's a strong flavor. So you're going to lightly saute your onion or your peppers or your mushrooms, and just so they get a little bit translucent. And then you're going to put them in your blender with a little bit of liquid. Now, I would start with more liquid than you have onion, kind of like I did with the pepperoni. But if you start with less water than onion, you just want to blend it and blend it and blend it, and then take the lid off, scrape it, blend it again. Same with olives. You don't necessarily have to cook. They come in a can. They're already soft. They should blend fairly well.
They should.
Peppers, if you buy the canned ones that are peeled, they're going to blend better because the skins get a little bit weird if you have raw peppers. So that's just one thing to be cognizant
Unless
of.
you roast it and then take the skin off.
Yes, which does take more time.
It does. Okay, so lots of information on this that I've learned in this 30 seconds that we microwaved it.
Tell us more.
So this is a thinner. This is a level 3. Let me check it out.
Yep, it looks...
I would say it did thicken a little bit. So my instinct is that it thickened less heating it this way because the bread was protected from
outside air.
From drying out.
Even though microwaves heat from sort of the inside
out. But it didn't get beyond the...
It has the moisture insulating it, basically.
Holding it in.
Yeah, okay.
So, you want to try it?
I do. I'm going to use my pepperoni spoon, though,
Okay.
to get some pepperoni on there.
Yeah.
It's oh my gosh, it's like perfectly smooth. Okay. That was amazing.
This is amazing. So I made the bread thinner, layered my pizza stuff on top, microwaved for 30 seconds, and it's
warm.
Super smooth. It is warm. Oh yeah. I think the edge piece that I got the bread was a little drier. The crust was a little drier, but
Remind me not to wear a white shirt when we do this again.
that one was not. Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy good.
So totally doable.
try
Get yourself
pepperoni,
a
too.
microwave safe glass container. Oh, see, this is why I just said remind me not to wear a white shirt again. Because
I think I'm
know.
gonna leave it.
Because I know.
I wanted it there.
I believe you.
I love
You do things on purpose. I know.
Not really.
Okay. So, questions, concerns. What are y'all thinking? What are your thoughts here?
Could you do this? Would you like to do this?
Did we make this accessible enough for you to try at home?
Say yes.
Karen says yes. Oh, wait, no, that was from 3 minutes ago. Just kidding.
Good, Kara.
Okay, so here's the deal. If any of you do this, we want pictures.
Yes. Send us, yes.
Okay.
I would try it. Good, Janet.
Yes.
Good.
Send us pictures.
So, we're hoping for January 1. We're going to have lots of things that are going to be more accessible for you guys. More accessibility to us and more accessibility to all of the things that we do. So
you'll need old school aprons. We have them upstairs. We haven't used them in a while. How do we do the bread? Okay. Base out of polenta. Ooh, that's a great idea. Just make some really soft cooked polenta. That would work well too.
Yes.
So, Karen, what you can try for now is getting breadcrumbs in just your typical old canister, right? You're going to blitz them dry with no liquid until they're powdery. Okay. Understood, Mary Catherine. Understood. Okay. There's some sensory stuff happening.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Noted. Okay.
It's my specialty.
Yes, it is. So, Karen, pour your breadcrumbs in. Start with like 1/4 cup. Blend them a couple of times. Pour them out into a dish and see how thin they get. So our bread is literally, it looks like flour. Okay? The finer you get it,
the liquidier it will be.
yes. And then measure it out. So this one was like 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs
1 to 1.
1/4 cup of warm water.
Yes.
This one was much less breadcrumb to much more water.
Right. So I think, just generally speaking, it would be 1/4 cup to 3/4 of a cup.
That's a huge difference. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be a lot smoother. It's still going to have the flavor, but that also gives it the ability to lose some moisture when you heat it. You could use a coffee bean grinder. That might get it like super, super, super fine. I would try it in your blend jet first and see how that goes.
Or you can stop it. If you're using a coffee grinder, you can stop it at whatever level you want.
That's true. The other thing to remember is make sure your coffee grinder or your blender is completely dry.
Yeah.
We are going to have bread product soon,
available
like
to
Stephanie was alluding to, but make sure your blender is dry. You want no moisture in there at all, or it's going to clump and you're not going to get what you want.
Right.
So dry, 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 dry.
Right. You definitely don't want to mix this bread, the dried bread in the blender with water, because then you're really going to get a stretchy, gloopy mess.
Yep. So when you add water in a blender, any starch, for instance, so rice, pasta, polenta, any of it that you blend with a blade and water, it's just going to turn into glue. Potato is another one. So we try to remind people you want to blend starches as little as possible while still getting them to the texture that you need. And that takes some finesse to learn.
Right. And that's why we do the bread dry. Mm-hmm. We process it dry and then add the water.
Yep.
To make a pureed product.
You'll have more control that way. And we want you to have control over the texture.
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah.
You could do dessert pizzas this way.
You could do breakfast pizza.
You could do breakfast pizza this way with egg and, your pepperoni or your sausage could go on there. You could do veggies on there. You could do, yeah. Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I think it was Megan that asked last week. Was that?
I think Megan put this in our brain.
So thank you, Megan. You are so welcome. Because it's doable. This is the thing. Most of these things are doable. It's just overwhelming to try to figure it out if you are stuck in the I don't know what to eat phase. So yes, Megan, we appreciate it.
We knew it was you, Megan. We talked about you all week as we were preparing for this.
Yep. So this is something that you should be able to do. You have control over how thick you make the crust. You have control over what products you use, whether that's dairy or non-dairy. Okay, so Janet, yes, you could do just about any kind of cookie, ground up, mixed with a little bit of water. You could do those Lorna Doones.
Yeah, so Lorna Doones, any kind of shortbread cookie will be perfect.
Graham crackers.
Graham crackers would be good. Graham cracker crumbs.
I mean, you could even technically do Oreos, but I would scrape out the filling, blitz up the Oreos, and then you could always heat a little bit of like milk or your non-dairy milk and add the filling and whisk that in, and then use that to bring together your base.
Great ideas.
The chef in me's
Great ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could do any flavor dessert pizza literally this way. You could
Whatever
use
you
lemon
like.
curd, you could use pudding, you could use, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, any kind of pie filling you could blend up. And
Absolutely. Make a pizza pie dessert.
yes.
Dessert pizza pie. I mean, that's what it is, but you get my...
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with that. But
don't know.
yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm confused.
No,
Okay.
you're not.
I'm
All right.
not. I'm fine.
So I am so glad that you joined us tonight for this
Yes.
pizza night. We learned a lot through it as well. So thank you, Megan, for the idea.
Yes.
Who wants to give us an idea for next week?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of ideas, but we want to know what you guys want.
Right. We have lots of ideas, but that doesn't mean that you're interested.
Exactly.
We don't know if that's what you want.
So can we talk about our upcoming plans a little bit? Are you guys interested in what we're doing? You can do some thumbs ups if you are. If you're not, don't do anything. And then we won't talk about it. Then maybe we won't do it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a thumbs up.
Because Stephanie wants to. There you go. Okay.
Okay, I did a thumbs up. So let's talk about
Kara
it.
says, okay. So we are creating a community where we are going to meet 3 times a month. Spaghetti and meatballs, Megan's husband says. Deal.
I kind of like that idea.
Deal. You're hired. We'll do it. Okay. So we are creating a community. It's going to be a membership. And, Kara, let's do that one a little closer to Christmas with the pot roast.
Big deal.
We're going to have some very specific events scheduled every month. And for those of you that are in this community, you're going to get first dibs because we want your feedback. So there's going to be a lot more time with us that's specific. So we're going to continue to do these lives in the community every Wednesday. But what we're looking for is to really, really hone in on what you need and what you want and give you the information you need to take control of your dysphagia.
Right. So it'll be more specific to the needs of the people in that group.
It is going to be a paid membership, so it's going to be very exclusive.
Exclusive, but not, I mean, it's not break the bank kind of thing.
We want
It's
it to be accessible.
Yeah.
Yep. So we want your feedback. We want to serve you. We want to come up with new ideas and products for you, but also we need to have a little bit of income so we can keep doing this. So we are here and ready to just do everything we can for you, and we just want to give you everything that we have up in our brains.
Right. We want to honor where you are at this point right now and give you all the tools to help you move beyond.
Yep. The surviving phase.
Yes.
We want you thriving.
Right.
Yeah. So.
All right. So keep your ears out.
Yep.
And we'll be putting more information and talking more about it as the month of December goes. You know, last year at this time, I think that we took a hiatus. I don't think we were.
We
took
did.
the month off for Christmas.
Yeah, I think we had gotten some feedback that we weren't doing things that people liked.
So
my grandmother had just passed.
Right.
It was a really rough time for us as we were trying to figure out what you guys wanted. So,
but we're not taking this December off. So
we're not.
We're here for you.
We got too much going on. We are so excited to give you guys what you need. We just can't stop.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're even changing offices and
yeah,
lots going on right now.
Lots. So if you're the praying type, pray for us because we take all the support we can get. And yeah, we're very, very excited about the things that we can do for you. Kara, that's what we want. We want to change your life for the better. We want it to be something that you can wake up in the morning and go, I can do this.
Right.
I have the tools that I need.
Right. Well, and we want to give you the tools.
Thank you, Janet. Yep.
To be able to make gains and continue on that upward trajectory to where you want to be.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So Karen needs more instruction about flavoring pureed foods. Deal. Okay.
Thank you, Janet.
We'll work on that. So as you guys come up with ideas of what you need, send us messages, send us emails. We're collecting this information so that we can put things together so we can give you what you need, because you may not know what you need. And we're using my food service background, Stephanie's speech therapy background, and then her also food service background, and her husband's food service background. So we're trying to put together as much, and my husband's food service background also. Shall I mention happy birthday to you, love of my life?
Happy birthday, Eric!
If you're watching. It's been a rough year, and I'm so glad you're here with me. So
yes. So
okay.
big plans.
Big
We'll
plans.
talk more about it, but we'll see you guys next week.
Oatmeal one night. Yep. Absolutely. Deal. Kara, can we set up a video call with you, because I need to know more about your texture that you need. So let's set up a quick 10-minute call sometime, if you're okay with that. See you next week, Megan. All right, everybody. Thank you for your time. We love you. We appreciate you. We are so glad that you're here with us, and we're looking forward to serving you more. We'll see you next week.